name is the upper echelon, she a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby, she the upper echelon. You know you intimidated, stupid can't play with smart. 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 Stupid can't play with smart.
What's going on? Make sure that y'all hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're here and you have not subscribed yet. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified of any time that I live stream in the future, anytime that I post content. What is going on, everybody coming in the room? Let's talk, because y'all know Big Keys don't stay live long, and I know it's some people that wanted to give a little bit more of their opinion on the take, so I am going to be dropping my link tonight. I'm also not going to be live a really long time, but I wanted to just talk about some things that stuck out to me. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Everything in this live stream is for entertainment purposes only, and everything is alleged unless it is on official documentation. What is going on? Shout out to Sweet Queen for that 5-month membership. Y'all make sure y'all hype up this video. Make sure you hit the like button. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I think I did drop the link. I dropped the link so y'all could come up. But I'm gonna tell y'all like this, right? With this story, this situation with Romika Meeks and all of this that's going on, I think that the coverage started out genuine. I think that the coverage started out genuine with a lot of different people, whether or not whether or not they agreed with the fact that it was self-defense, or whether or not they don't believe that it's self-defense, or maybe they're in the middle and they're not sure either way. I think that all started out genuine. But now at this point, now that more people are picking up on the story and more people are covering the story, unfortunately, and see, that's why I didn't go live yesterday. I kind of just been watching what's going on the YouTube streets and Facebook. I think that now, because so many people are starting to latch on to the story and kind of give their opinion about what they think happened based off of the information that we do have, I think it has now become something else. I don't think that it is a genuine coverage from a lot of people at this point. I think at this point it may have started out that way, but now is less about the fact that somebody lost their life, and more about a competition between who's right and who's wrong, who can pull the most views, who can get the most super chats, who can get the most engaged, who can get the juiciest gossip, who can get the best, the most interesting people on their panel to pull in the views. I really don't think that it's genuinely about, okay, let's get down to, excuse the noise in the background, y'all. I'm sitting next to my door, my French door. I don't think that it is genuinely about the concern about either what happened to Romika or what Holly did. I think at this point, a lot of times content creators and will latch onto a story, and just like the other saga that we were in, will latch onto a story, and at a certain point it stops becoming about what's right and what's wrong, and it starts becoming about who's right and who's wrong, if you know what I'm saying. And then it becomes a competition. We got a lot of very competitive people that are covering this story, And unfortunately, it's become a spectacle, if you ask me. And it's really unfortunate because at the end of the day, someone did their life, um, and somebody lost their life. And we have another young lady who is possibly getting ready to go to prison for the rest of for I ain't gonna say for the rest of her life, but for some years. So the purpose behind the coverage of the story has definitely been skewed. Unfortunately, and it's really to be what's going on, Cree. It's really disgusting
Oh,
to me.
hey, I was on mute. Hey, y'all.
Okay,
Hey, Upper.
hey, what's going on? Let me say this real quick. Okay, I wanted to get that out there, throw that out there that I don't think I'm the only one that see it. I think that a lot of people see that it's no longer about a young lady that lost her life at this point. I think at this point now, it's a game between content creators. Me myself is not a game to me. Me myself, I'm actually very passionate about the story, and I've actually heard people criticize that. But at the end of the day, if you don't have passion, what do you have? Why are you covering a story that you're not passionate about? Why are you talking about something that you don't care about? Because if you're talking about something and you don't care about it, then you have to question, well, why are you talking about it? And then then other things come into play, such as, well, maybe you're doing it for views, maybe you're doing it for money. Because if you're not doing it for passion, what the fuck are you doing it for? Now, Creisha, let me tell you what stuck out to me
Wait a
from
minute.
what we
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You can't do me like that. Let
gotta say.
me.
Oh, go
Okay,
ahead.
but let me touch on that you just said, please.
Go
I
ahead.
agree. I agree with that. That's why I came. I wasn't even going. But yeah, I was over there, so I want to talk about that too. But I I agree with that to a certain extent. I think that it's not a game to everybody. It's not a competition to everybody, right? And I'll say this: when uh, you okay with names, it ain't messy.
I don't want nobody name mentioned on the platform.
Okay,
None of
okay.
nobody.
So where we just came from, right? Over there, I feel like at first you as stories go, you can change your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like that's nothing new. You can change your mind. You know what I'm saying, or you can stay um in the middle until you figure it out, until you see more, until more come out. You know what I'm saying? I really feel like that's genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's just not I'm stuck here and that's it. I'm just right here and I ain't trying to hear nothing else nobody's saying. That's not what it's given. It's yeah, I was over here, but now I see it like this, and that's okay. Right? Do you I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
I agree. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah. So, but
Okay,
then
I agree.
okay. So I feel like that's one thing, but it doesn't have to be a competition. I don't even know where the competition came from. I don't feel like a lot of people that are speaking on it is making it a competition, is looking at what the numbers are doing, or I just think that some people, but I I kind of understand why some people are doing it, especially the people that came out of the saga that we was just in. But that's where that's they have to separate that. That's not content creating. That's not blogging. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why are you in competition with, you shouldn't be in competition with nobody but yourself. How can you get better? How can you make your platform better? It's you watching somebody else pockets ain't gonna what? That ain't gonna feed you.
True, true. I agree with
So I
everything that you said.
I don't feel like it's a competition for every, you know what I'm saying? Like for everybody. I still think that some people have that passion. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to see justice. And let me say this, whether it be You know what I'm saying? Whether it may be, you know what I'm saying? Like, however they see it, it might not be the justice you want. Let's just put it like that. And I'm saying you, as in everybody. It may not be the justice you want, right? But as long as it's justice.
Right. I agree with that. I agree with that. What I want to say is hold on, I'm trying to drop my link. So I agree with that 100%. And what I also think, you could tell me what you think about this too. I think that no matter what is said, see, this is why it's so important. And see, this is what I'm learning, and I'm still learning it, and I haven't mastered it yet. But what I'm learning on my platform is it's so important to uh, to focus on what it is that you think as a content creator. What I see a lot, especially when a storyline gets latched on to about a lot of different creators, is it stops being what you think as the content creator on your platform, and
Mhm.
instead of your platform being about what your take is, what your opinion is, what your research is, whether
Mhm.
whoever or not, it starts to become about what everybody else is saying and disputing that. I think that content
Yes.
creators really need to focus on stop watching other people's content and making your content about what they're.
I
Sometimes
I
we do
agree.
have content. Sometimes we do have to get other content creators, watch other content creators to get receipts, such as Big Keys. Now, Big Keys gets a lot of criticism for his delivery, his style, so on and so forth. But if we're going to be honest, a lot of us that are covering the story get our information and official documents and everything else from him. So to me, it is very hypocritical to criticize somebody's platform and say that somebody's a liar, just like how he just said, and say that, oh,
Mhm.
the conspiracy this, conspiracy that, but in this at the same time go to his
It's on
platform and screenshot all of his
it's
receipts.
on downstairs. I'm sorry.
Because at the end of the day, whether you are taking what he's taking from the receipt, you're still using his receipt. You may not be interpreting it the same way that he interprets it. Another thing that I've noticed about, the coverage of this is that a lot of content creators that are in support of Holly, one thing that they always say is, let the police do their job, let the police solve it, let the detectives do their work. Why are the bloggers covering it? But they only say that when it is pertaining to whoever is in support of Romika. When it comes to people going live and making a spectacle out of things, when in regards to Holly, it's never said let the police do their job. It's always publicized and laughed at, and oh, look what they. But anytime somebody's supporting Romika, it's, oh, just let the police do that. That makes me think, why is it that people don't want folks to speak that support Romika? Because the same energy is not given when somebody hits that live button in support of Holly. Those same things are not said. So I'm just wondering. But let me just get into the what I heard over there.
Okay.
Again, shout out to Big Keys. Now, I don't know about y'all, but from what I heard, I promise y'all, nothing else me more than what. Before I get into that, let me say this. Did y'all see how the woman got up
Mhm.
on his channel and tried to
Mhm.
totally, she
Mhm.
totally flipped what the reports, she came out there and jumped on her. That's not what it said. What it said
Mm-mm.
is she battered her. If you know anything about legal jargon or police reports, a battery does not have to be physical. It can be physical, but even if it is physical, it could be a push, a shove, poking somebody could be considered a battery. Yelling at someone can be considered a battery. Intimidating somebody verbally could be considered a battery. So the fact that but then they'll say that the people that support Romika are creating conspiracies, but he
Well,
jumping on the pattern,
I
jumped on, and I'm like, where did you see that at?
I just feel like when it's like that, they're gonna say people that support her don't want to hear it. And that's not true. We want to hear it. We just want to hear it the right way. Like, don't get up there. Like, And he did so good with it because he said, keep reading, continue. You know what I'm saying? Don't come up here and give me half. Don't give me the part you want me to hear or the part you want my audience to hear because you up here trying to discredit me. Don't do that.
Right, right. Now, let me tell y'all the part that stuck out to me the most. And to me, that's the only part that mattered. I don't even know why we still talking about the shit. When
What
at
was
this
it?
point,
What was it?
hold on, let me tell you, hold on, let me say this too. Everything can be disputed. The witnesses' statements are all conflicting at this point. Those can be disputed. A lot of things can be disputed. We didn't see the camera footage. I didn't even realize it was because I went there and didn't see the POD camera. So apparently there is a POD camera and it caught the incident. Okay, so that can't be disputed, and neither can the coroner report. The coroner report stated that there was no burn marks or gunpowder on Romeka. There is no way to pew pew somebody at close range and not get
And they have
any
no
harm. There's no
nope.
way. Now, I looked it up on Chat GPT, and I also looked it up on Google. Now, Chat GPT, it says, if the victim of a gunshot has no gunpowder residue, soot, burn marks, that usually means the shot was fired from a distance, not a close point blank range. You guys, there's no way to shoot somebody at point blank range or in a close distance and not get any soot, none, no gunpowder residue, none. This
Which
goes on to say
means
in forensic.
which means before you continue that she was across the street.
Well, hold on, Krisha. We're not going to say that, and the reason I say we're not going to say that is because we don't want to give the
Mm,
the
okay.
whole Holly cult a reason to say that we're speculating, because they love to say that. But what we ain't gonna say where she was. Okay, we ain't gonna say that because
Okay. We just
we
gonna
ain't
say
even
she wasn't close.
we not even gonna pay attention to the witness statements at this time. At this time, we just gonna talk about what the coroner report stated. On the coroner report, it stated there was no burn marks, no soot, no nothing on Romeka. There's no way that that can happen at close range. It says in forensic terms, close range or contact shots leave soot, stippling, which is tiny dots from burn powder, and sometimes skin burns around the wound. Intermediate range may leave scat. Now close range. Now listen to this, y'all. Close range is going to leave soot and burn marks. Intermediate range, which means like a distance away, you're not close, but you're not that far. That may leave scattered powder marks or stippling, but no burning. Now, distant or long range shots typically leave no residue, no soot, no burns. So, no gunpowder or burn evidence likely means that it was fired from a long distance away. Now, even if Romeka and Holly got into a physical altercation on that day, when Romeka was pew pew, they were not engaged in a physical altercation. Case closed. What are we still talking about here?
Ding
What are we
ding
talking about?
ding.
This is what I'm saying. Like, people are conveniently trying to make it seem like they don't understand regular shit. It says that the girl didn't have any residue on her. That's not even possible. It says that it's not even possible. That's not even possible. Even if she was kind of close to her, she would have had some sort of residue on her. The girl was a long distance away, at least according to what Keys read, 8 feet or more. Meaning there was no way that she was being physically harmed at the time of the shooting. Which even though all the witnesses are, all of their shit is conflicting at this point. However, what I will say about one of the witnesses, the one that they call Rosie Perez, they say that she's a liar and she exaggerates. Let me tell you what she didn't lie about. What that witness didn't lie about was that Romika got shot in the face. She didn't lie about that Romika got shot in the leg.
Nope.
Now, she may have thought Romika got shot in the stomach. However, she didn't get shot in the stomach. But guess what she didn't lie about? That there were 3 shots fired.
Yeah.
She didn't lie about that.
No.
So it's possible that she thought that the bullet, the
She
other
probably
bullet
thought the
hit
bullet
Romika's
hit
stomach.
her.
It probably flew past. She was probably aiming that way and it didn't hit her, and she probably thought it did. But either way it goes, she didn't lie about how many bullets were discharged that day, and she was accurate about where 2 of the bullets hit Romika. So she didn't lie about that. So she told 3 bullets were discharged. Not only did she discharge 3 bullets, 2 of them hit Romika. One of them, who knows where that bullet went? It could have hit a child. Then after that, the girl tried to keep firing.
Mhm.
And you got these clowns on the internet still trying to argue that this girl was defending herself. How? She was nowhere near her when she shot her. And then another thing that stuck out. Cree, I want you to speak on this and I'm going to shut up. Then I'm going to drop the links. Some other people, I want you to speak on this.
Okay.
Also in the coroner report, it could not, they don't want to talk about this shit. They want to talk about all the other stupid shit like Facebook posts from 10 years ago. Let's talk about what really happened here. The coroner report could not determine which shot killed Romika because both of the shots were fatal.
Yep.
She was debilitated. The threat was neutralized after the first shot. Whether it would have been the one to the femur or whether it was the one to the face, both of those shots were fatal. She did not need to shoot again. Not only were both shots fatal, but then the motherfucker tried to shoot her again.
Yes, she did.
And y'all still screaming self-defense. I'm just talking about the facts here. Go ahead, Krisha.
I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say.
Come on, let's talk about the facts. They always talk about facts over feelings, but you got a whole coroner report letting you know that there was no further shots needed. The first shot took her down.
It took her down. She couldn't do nothing.
She's not still trying to fight you after being shot in the femur, or she's not still trying to fight you after she got hit in the face. And I'm gonna dispute another lie that was just told, but hold on. She got hit in the face. The bullet traveled from her face down to her spine. But after those 2, listen to this, y'all. After those 2 shots, the femur shot and the shot to the face, which traveled down to her spine, the bitch tried to shoot again.
Yes, she did.
The bitch tried to shoot again.
She did.
So these crazy motherfuckers really on here saying that this is self-defense. Even if there was a tussle that took place, which we don't know because it doesn't say that in the report, it's possible. But when she was shot, there was no tussle going on.
Nope.
So how are y'all still arguing self-defense?
Maybe they won't be arguing it by tomorrow. I hope, maybe they got their screenshots because I got mine because I want to read it all the way. I want to read it all the way. I don't really have nothing to say. I think you said it all. I think you said it all.
All right, thank you for coming up, Creed.
Okay.
All right. So I'm just saying, if we don't now, for how long are people going to continue to talk about Romika should have never done? Another good point that Keys made was that I don't even want to talk about that point because he was kind of talking about the witness statement. And you know what? I don't even want to talk about the witness statements. And the reason being is because I want to keep this % factual. And at this moment, we don't really know because the witness statements are conflicting. One of them is a mystery witness. I don't even know about that one. And then the other one, let's just leave the witnesses out of it and talk about what the coroner report said, because I feel like that's the most accurate thing to do. Because everybody wants to hear facts apparently. So there's your facts right there. What's going on, Open Book?
Hey, Upper. Hey, Chad. How are you?
I'm good. What you think?
Okay, so a couple of things I just have questions about, and it's late for me. I'm trying to. My brain is trying to wrap around this. It's a lot. Now, if she shot from a distance, how did her and Carlos get so much blood on their hands, though?
See, that's how we start getting into conspiracy theory. But
I mean, it couldn't be a conspiracy. I thought they said it was captured on this video, this infamous video now.
Right, but see, we haven't seen the video. But let me tell you something. Let me say this, Open Book. What I find interesting is that Romeka was so far away from Holly during the time of the shooting that Romeka got no burns and no gunpowder. So if she got no burns and no gunpowder during the assault, how did Holly get blood on her shoes and hands?
Right.
That leads me. All right, check it out. Right now, when we saw the video, let me know if I missed anything, y'all. But I didn't see any blood spatter on Holly's face, on her clothes. The only place I saw blood was on her hands and on her shoes. If you ask me, and let me just say everything is alleged because I don't want people to start talking about upper conspiracy. I don't want to hear it. But it was only on her hands and feet. From what I have
on her pants, the bottom part.
The bottom of her pants, and that can happen from stepping in blood. It can splash. But let me say this, from my research, that is consistent with moving a body. If you shoot somebody at close range, you're going to get some blood splatter on you somewhere. Okay, she shot her in the face. First of all, they're about the same height. She would have had some sort of blood spatter on her, but she only had it on her hands, the bottom of her pants, and her shoes. To me, that's consistent with moving a body, because you're going to get it on your hands and you're going to step in blood. The bottom of your pants is going to have blood splatter because you're stepping in it.
Right.
But hey, that's just what I think.
But it was also on top. Like, because I was even talking about that one day, how if they were going over there, and stepping, I just hate even thinking about saying it like that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see it even getting on the bottom of their shoes. But then for you to have your hands, it's all on both of y'all's hands on top of the shoes, which is why I think some people were thinking that she was shot close range. I'm also questioning some of the facts and who took this report. And the reason I say that is, how did we get from the witnesses that were actually there, that we can verify in the video, right, to now this witness is giving it like all of this happened at Carlos's house and the neighbors heard 5 shots, and it's just seeming so different. Like, who took that report? Because it's different accounts now that doesn't even match with what was said with people who were actually there.
Right. But let me tell you, that is not unusual for witnesses to do at a crime scene. I'm gonna tell you why. Because if it's multiple people that witness the same crime, you may get different stories from everybody, because some people may be focused on one thing, the other witness may be more focused on something else happening, another witness may have been looking at something else. So you may get different accounts. So I don't know. That's why I said at this point, because I did do coverage of the witness statement that I heard on Messy Sweet Spot. Even though, I'm not going to ever discount what any witness saw. None of them. Especially if they could be verified that they were actually at the scene.
Right.
Now the one that Dr. Hall was reading, I can't even that I don't even take into account because I don't even know if she really even exists.
Right.
But what I will say though is the witness that was on Messy Sweet Spot, a lot of what she said has been verified. A lot of people are trying to focus on, well, she said she got shot in the stomach. She didn't get shot. Yeah, but she may not have got shot in the stomach. The witness may have gotten that part wrong. But what she didn't get wrong is that 3 shots were discharged. And she got 2 of the shots right. Face and leg.
Right.
So I gotta say, so far, it seems like that witness knows what she's talking about.
Exactly. And she was there. And it just, I don't know, like how they were trying to make it look like it was at his place. Him yelling out, closer to his address makes me think that in the initial part, they were trying to make it seem like she came over to his place. Like when this initially went out, I don't know if they realized that the videos were going to start going viral, that people were going to start talking about it. And then we saw where it really took place. And even Romika's cousin on Messy Spot even said that she felt they were trying to move Romika's body closer to his place. She even said that one night. I don't know if you
really.
Yes, it was a night she was on there for a long time, and she was just on there because Ladre was up on the panel, and she came on there, and she was on there for like 2 hours. I was like, wow. So she even felt that, and so by finally seeing that on paper. And then another thing too, what do you think about this video? Because remember, he said that a video was sent to him. And now I wonder if the police had this video. Well, how did he get it? Was it leaked by someone or what?
No. Well, he's lying. That's now apparently it's confirmed that there is a POD camera out there, but if he has a video, then it must be a video from somebody else because it surely isn't the POD camera. Because ain't no way in the world that he even have the connections to get that footage. And if he has if Ladre has footage from the POD camera, then there's some inside job type, there's some inside corruption type shit going. Somebody got connections where somebody is doing something. I don't want to put it out there, but
I know. Because that's why I'm like, let me tread lightly with that, but it just makes you wonder.
Yeah, because I mean, either reports say that the footage is on the POD camera, so it's no way that Quadre has that footage. It's just no way. And if he does, it's gonna be a lot of people losing their jobs. If he does,
I think too, that's probably why he hasn't put it out, because this that came out, and if it's the same video and this actually goes to trial or something like that, and he had already shown what they have, it would have exposed that they have a leak up in there, remote, getting stuff out. So I think that's why if he does have it, then that could, explain that. And then it made me mad too. And this also goes with what I think they were trying to do. Romika, like the C-Man knew Romika's name. Okay. It should not have been a reason that she was at the hospital under Jane Doe. That made me so upset, like hearing that part.
They were trying to be, in my opinion, they were trying to be deceptive. Why in the world would you? Why in the world? It's a lot of stuff that was weird about all this, right? Why would you give the address 21st and what do you say, 21st and State?
Or Cermak.
The lady that jumped up on, what did he say, Cermak or State?
It was Cermak.
He said 21st. Okay. The lady that jumped up on the panel was trying to make it seem like it didn't matter. It does matter.
It does matter.
The address that he gave, if you say 21st and Cermak, they're looking for 20. Oh shoot, can y'all still hear me? I don't know why my thing just went out. If they're saying if he says 21st and Cermak, That means 2,100. 2,100. What he should have said, what anybody with any sense would have said, if you really trying to get somebody some help, is I'm on. Forget the number. I'm on the intersection of Cermak and State, across the street from National Teachers Academy. Boom. Very simple. Right across the street from National Teachers Academy on the intersection of Cermak and State. That's it. But it makes you wonder why he said it that way. Now, the people that that are killing themselves to defend these people are gonna be like, oh, well, he was just panicking. You were panicking so bad that you gave the wrong address. You forgot your baby mama name. I don't know what you. Yeah, but according to the witness that was on Messy Sweet Spot, it didn't sound like he was panicking because he gained his scruples and gained composure long enough to tell Holly to say it was self-defense.
Right.
The new witness said added 20 max. Yeah. So somebody said, what do you mean they travel in different directions? No. What do you mean they travel in different directions? No. The intersection of Cermak and State is really, they were right pretty close to the intersection. So if they would have just said that, the police would have seen them immediately. So I don't know why he would have said that. Then another thing that stuck out to me is, instead of, come on, like, tell me what you would have did, Open Book. Okay, you're the mother of your child is on the way to the hospital, possibly is not going to make it, and instead of you jumping in your car and following that ambulance, you go home and change clothes, possibly took a shower, and then went to the boys' school. What is happening? This is not normal behavior to me. I just don't.
I just think that it goes with what they were trying to do, and it escalated once he put that post on Facebook, and people were eating him up because the video had traveled quickly. He took it down, talking about the worst day of his life. It wasn't, now the plan was messed up. Okay, they had already given this statement, because I had been saying, well, what was he over there telling the police? Because they didn't even look at Holly standing there. Like, who are you saying did this? And so then I think that he thought, oh, okay, we get away with it. But see, they didn't plan on the witnesses being out there. They didn't plan on, the recording, not the one that the police have, but the recording from, out with us that we were able from someone's cell phone. Now he's going home because that's evidence. Okay, so now it's like, I'm not a part of this, so I can go ahead and change my clothes and stuff. But right. I think they started seeing our commentary, seeing the video that was out, and they probably started questioning, this doesn't add up, because this was not at his place. And I don't understand why that was even put in there. If the police drove up and you're looking, sir, what place? We're on the corner of a street. So right. Why did y'all even put that this was at a residence?
Residence. That, if you ask me, you may as well just throw that statement out.
Yeah, you should just. Who gave this lie, Dre? Okay, because he can tell the story with all the lies, so it's probably one of his statements. Because he just.
But hold on. Let's say this though. Hold on, wait a minute. Think about it like this, Open Book. Even if it did happen at his residence, how would a witness that don't know neither one of these people know that was his residence? How do you know that he's just not standing in front of a random building? Does it make y'all, just think about it, y'all? Why would a witness say they were having a dispute in front of what's his name? Carlos and Holly's residence? Why would you say, first of all, it's not in front of any residence. Okay, it's in front, where they were on the left side, the right side of where they were is a big black gate, which is surrounding the old folks' home. And then across the street, to be honest with you, just by looking at the buildings across the street, the restaurants, unless you just know, you wouldn't even know those was apartments up there. You wouldn't know that.
Right.
It's not like a regular residential type of building. So the question must be asked, who was that gave that statement? Because how the hell would you know that?
Upper, guess what? And Tion, right with my thinking, that's Carlos' statement. I'm gonna say allegedly, but match it up with witness number 3. And the reason it make me say that is it's a redacted part of the police. We were just talking about that this morning on the police report. And when it has the name and it had relationship, it redacted that part and covered it up. And I was like, why did it cover it up? Relationship part.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that knew that's his baby's mother and significant other. A regular witness off the street wouldn't know that.
Would not know the relationship.
Uh-huh. That's the giveaway.
Let me see. How do I pull this up? I'm gonna have to wow. So now again, y'all, we're just speculating.
It's allegedly.
It's allegedly, but it's a difference between creating wild, crazy conspiracies versus giving your take on what the facts are that have been presented. The fact is that whoever this witness was happens to know the relationship between Carlos and Holly. That's a fact. The fact is that they happen to know that the person, that the place that they lied and said they was in front of, that Carlos lives there. There's no coincidence.
Wow.
That's not a coincidence. Hold on, let me see and let Miss D up. So see, the more you think, I'm glad you up here, Open Book. The more we think about it, the more you use your critical thinking skills, the more you start to unlock certain things. Miss D. Is this Miss
Yo,
D?
this is crazy. Yeah. What's going on? Hey, Open Book. Hey, Upper.
Hey, D.
Hey, Miss
And
D.
you know what I want to say? I want to say, I feel like the person that gave that statement, they knew Holly and Carlos. Because why would a person that don't know Carlos and Holly give a statement and say that this happened in front of his house? Because they don't know them. They don't know what Carlos is.
Not only that, Miss D, but Open Book also pointed out, how the hell would they know the relationship between Holly and
Exactly. It's just not making sense. I do believe, because the mother stated in the beginning, if Open Book, you can remember when the mother stated in the beginning, even before she buried her daughter, she came out of her platform and she said she tried to find her daughter. Her daughter was Jane Doe. The mother said that. Why didn't Carlos tell the police his baby mother's name? That's your baby mother.
Right. And then also on here, y'all, it said the female significant other then took out a firearm and shot Blackman once in the chin and once in the thigh. Now, took it out from where? Because this is not clear to me. Okay. But
right. Read that again.
Residents.
Can you read that again? Because I had to step away. Can you read that part again from the top?
Okay. It says, per Officer Vera, witnesses on the scene reported that Blackman came to the residence of her child's father and the father's female significant other. Blackman began arguing with the female significant other, which escalated to Blackman battering her. The female significant other then took out a firearm and shot Blackman once in the chin and once in the thigh. Okay, took it out from where? Because they didn't clarify that she had it on her, took it out from a car.
Right.
Like
right,
where?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not clear, even in that part. It's not clear. It's
Right.
not enough detail. And then it says neighbors reported hearing 5 total gunshots. See, this is the thing. See, he knew it was 5 rounds in there, but did he know that? Wait, was it four rounds? Because how was it 5 shots? Wasn't it only 4 rounds, y'all?
Well, somebody said it was 3 shots.
No, 3 shots, but 1 live round. So isn't that 4? Why did they say that the neighbors said they heard 5 gunshots?
I think, didn't it say that the neighbors say that they think they heard up to? It could be that they just thought they heard 5 shots. That's
yeah, they thought. Yeah, it could be that possibility, and they're just gonna write down what the people say. Yeah,
right. Because when when you hearing rapid, or not even rapid, but when you hearing gunfire, you know, some people might say, "Oh, I heard 4 gunshots." Shit, some people might say, "I heard 8." That's gonna vary.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Then it says this is
hold on, open book. I want you to. I know you gonna be mad with me, but can you read that from the top one more time, please?
Oh no, you fine. Per Officer Vera, witnesses on the scene reported that Blackman came to the residence of her child's father and the father's female significant other. Blackman began arguing with the female significant other, which escalated to Blackman battering her. The female significant other then took out a firearm and shot Blackman once in the chin and once in the thigh. Neighbors reported hearing 5 total gunshots. This is when emergency services were notified and discovered Blackman lying in the middle of the street with the multiple apparent gunshot wounds. Police confirmed the female significant other, which is the offender, was currently in custody. Approximately 3 shell casings were located on scene, and the suspected firearm used in the incident was recovered by police. Apparent blood was noted on the car parked at the residence. What residence? Okay, the police.
Yeah, what residence?
The police confirmed the reports because the incident was captured on video by police pod cameras. Now, was the car moved? Hold up.
What is going on here?
Yeah, that's weird. Because I'm wondering, did they move the car?
So it seemed like the police are going based off of what a witness said.
Yeah.
So the witness said that was Carlos and Holly's residence. Now this witness sound like it could be Carlos, but I'm gonna let that one go. So when the police wrote their statement, it sounded like they, instead of verifying, it sounded like they assumed that they were parked in front of their residence. But see, here's the thing. How that still don't even make sense, because there is no residence right there other than the old folks.
Right. They tried to do a cover up, y'all. See what they wanted to really do. They wanted to really say that Ramika came to Carlos' house.
Yep.
Started fucking with Holly. Holly had a restraining order on her, and Holly shot her there in self-defense.
Yep.
Period. That's what they're trying to do.
Yep. Case closed. That's what they were trying to do.
Period. This was a whole setup.
Wow.
This don't sound right at all. This ain't sounding right. And you know that if the police know their job, you can leave it to the internet to figure this thing out, because something ain't sitting right.
But I believe right now, Upper, that the detectives is looking more into this. They probably see a lot of inconsistencies in this. Trust me, they do.
Yeah, and see, what's funny to me, Miss B and Open Book, what's funny to me is that everybody kept screaming, "Oh, if this case was, if this case was going to have an arrest, then they would have arrested her by now. What are they still investigating?" First of all, you can't close the case without the autopsy report. They got to look over the autopsy. Not only do they have to look over the autopsy report, they have to have blood spatter analysts, ballistics. They have to do all types of investigation. Is not. People been watching too much TV. I know a lot of people watch 48 Hours, but a lot of times crimes are not solved in 48 hours. it takes time with something like this, especially with all of the conflicting reports. Everybody saying something different. You got people allegedly what look like is trying to throw the police off, giving, false statements. That's what it sounds like. So that's going to take time to comb through. So that's why it's still open.
Yeah.
This is not TV. This is real life. Not only that, but not to mention that the Chicago Police Department is incompetent as hell. I know this. I live here. They don't solve shit. I was surprised that they solved I keep saying the Jussie Smollett situation. I was shocked that they, and I guess that was because it was heavily televised and it was a celebrity, so they had to solve it because of the ego thing, and they didn't want the world looking at them like they were incompetent. But in the city of Chicago, they don't solve murders like that. They don't. The investigator, you have to stay on their behinds, and I hope that the family is staying on their behinds to get justice for her, because it's a lot of things that are not sounding right. I keep saying, regardless of, go ahead, Ms. D.
That man was not helping Ramika. He didn't care about her dying. He wanted her to die. He didn't care about any of that. He had no love for her at all. He didn't get in the ambulance with her. He didn't get in the car to follow the ambulance to the hospital. He didn't do anything. None of that, as a baby father should have did for their baby mother.
No.
And also, if you think about it too, because I brought this up one time because it made me nervous, because I was like, now wait a minute. On the police report, the witness statements 1 and 2 were very short, like a couple of lines. But then for witness number 3, they had a whole paragraph. And then if you look at this, it's a whole paragraph. They pretty much wrote what was on that police report on this particular one. Now, the other witnesses, where are their statements? Because this is not what they said on video, the interview. So is there a missing page? Where are those statements at?
I got a good, you guys listen to this, right? I got a good question in the chat. Boogie Bella said, how did the bullet travel downwards? So let's take a look. And this is interesting. Let's take a look. The bullet travels in the direction the barrel is pointing. Pay attention. At the moment that the trigger is pulled. If the shooter points the gun downward, the bullet will travel downward. Now remember, she was pew-pewed in the chin. So when you hear chin, most people look at it like, oh, either they were on the side, or they were in the front, or they shot her from the bottom. When you let's think about this. I don't know the experience y'all have, but matter of fact, I ain't even gonna put my own stuff in. I'm gonna finish reading it. Okay, so let's read that again. The bullet travels in the direction the barrel is pointing at the moment the trigger is pulled. If the points the gun downward, standing up, which i.e. standing above the target, y'all listening? Firing from a balcony, roof, stairs, etc., the bullet will travel downward. Now remember, Holly, from my understanding, is shorter than Romika. So it wouldn't make sense that Holly would be shooting downward at Romika. Does that make sense? So let's go back to the witness saying that Holly was standing on a sidewalk. We know that on a sidewalk is higher than the actual street, and it's a curb that you have to step up on, right? Just want to put that out there. Excuse that siren. Now listen to this. Then it goes on to say, gravity also pulls the bullet down as it flies. So, and remember, this bullet is not flying. It's already in her body. Okay, from what we heard from what Keys said, the bullet went in her chin and then it went down towards her spine. Okay. Gravity also pulls the bullet down as it flies. So even a bullet fired on a perfectly level plane will slowly drop with distance. The drop is small at short ranges and larger at long ranges. Now, when people are saying, why is the case still open? A lot of things have to be determined. How did all of this happen? How did she shoot her? Why is the bullet in that position in her body? I don't know. But does that sound weird to y'all from what I'm reading?
That sounds about right. And you know what? It made me think of something, because if he was holding her in that moment, because it could have also, the other witness was saying she thought she shot her, her stomach or side. Okay. I believe in the moment, everything happens so quickly, not like in slow motion, like we're probably picturing it like boom, okay, another one, boom. Now, when she was in his grasp, if she was scared and tried to get away, and she leans forward out of his grasp, clip, she got clipped in the chin or frontal, face, trying to get away, and turn, bam, in her thigh. It could have been possible that she's leaning, trying to get away, and you're leaning forward toward a person. That does not necessarily mean that you are running towards that person. That could have been, I'm trying to get out of his grasp. She leaned forward, and just as he let go, bam, she got bam, bam. Like it just went really quickly. I'm just thinking in that moment, it probably went really fast. So that still does not say she was coming at her necessarily. If he was holding her at one point, you could be trying to get out of someone's grasp, lean forward, and if they know you got a clear shot, let you go, bam, and that's probably when she hit her in the chin.
Right.
Or face.
Absolutely.
That's sad.
Well, okay, so what are y'all thoughts on this? Now, regardless of everything else, we got to remember that this is supposed to be a self-defense case. Now, so far, there has been a lot of things that has shown us that this is not self-defense. One of the things is that she was a distance away from her. By looking at the coroner report, she could not have been shot at close range. So there's one thing that it shows that she was not being physically harmed by Romeka in that moment. Now, we got to look at the laws. The law, even if, and this is I'm just going to say, even if Romeka was coming at her, even if she was, Holly still committed a crime, because and people always talking about laws this and facts this. The laws in Illinois leans heavily on proportionality, because someone that is is unarmed is coming towards you, maybe, and I'm not saying that this is what happened. What I'm saying is, even if this did happen, she was still wrong, because this is an unarmed person. You previously, according to what witnesses say, allegedly may have had a spat with her before the headlock or before she was being restrained by Carlos. So you know that the only thing that happened at that time was maybe who knows what happened, but you know that you were not killed in that spat. So now she's away from you and being restrained. Even if she was coming towards you, proportionality is what they're going to look at, because at this point we know that Holly knows that she is not in danger of losing her life. The only way that you are supposed to be drawing a firearm on someone in the state of Illinois is if an equal threat exists. There was no scene other than Holly's. So she was wrong on all boards, all across the board. She was wrong.
And I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. Because, And also, I just think it was time. It was like time in between where there were other options. Yes, she doesn't necessarily have to use those options, but there were other options. If you have one holding you, and I stand by this, Romika feared for her life in that moment. You have two against one, and now one has a weapon. And also the other one is in your ear telling you she's about to go get her gun. She's about to go get her gun. She got really scared. So she's struggling, leaning, turning, trying to get away. And then she gets the gun from, hey, the witness said from her car. Now, in this statement, it doesn't say where she got it from. Okay. It didn't say it
but
was
we
on.
all know where she got it from. It might not say, but we ain't stupid. We know where she got that gun from.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you had time also. So regardless, she was unarmed. So there was not an immediate threat. You had time. There were other options, even if you chose not to utilize them. That was not self-defense. You got 2 versus 1. And he's held her before. He's even hit her before. So even if not being funny or anything like that, but if he wanted to knock her out, at least she would have lived to see another day. He's done that before. So what was different about this day? Oh, she was super.
Yeah, exactly.
What was different? You know, like stop.
You're right, and just like he said, there's going to be a question that has to be asked from Carlos, and that question is, what were you doing in the instance that you were holding her? What was going on, and what was your intention? Mm-hmm. He's going to have to answer that. He's going to either have to say, I was holding her. He's going to have to either say, I was holding her away from Holly, or he's going to have to say, and if he doesn't say that, then he's going to have to say, I was holding her down, which is going to make it seem like you were holding her down to be pew-pewed. Now, if he says that I was holding her to keep her away from Holly, then that shows that Holly had the opportunity to leave the situation. So either way, Holly is wrong. No matter what Carlos said, Holly is wrong. Now, a lot of people are saying, but what about, so they got the footage, they got the POD camera. Yeah, they got the POD camera, but even though they have camera footage, some things, because it's from up above, may not have been seen. Certain things may not have been heard. So that's the reason why there's, even with the camera footage, notice they're still calling in witnesses. They recently called in witnesses and they held them for over 6 hours to give statement. So even though they got that camera footage, they still have to see what really happened on that day. What was said, what was going on. For instance, I could look at a video and see somebody being held, but that doesn't tell me what the intention is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the witness statement really matters in that instance, because when we heard the witness that was on the messy sweet spot, she kept saying she was scared. She was confused. She was scared. She kept saying that. So
I believe Romika was scared. I definitely do believe that.
I do, and this is the witness that we know has given some accurate account. This witness was accurate about how many bullets were discharged during that altercation. She was accurate about where 2 of the bullets hit Romika. She was accurate about the altercation between Carlos and Romika. She said that Romika's back was being slammed, and the initial phone call that she made was for a domestic. It was not for a fight between Holly and Romika. It was a call for a domestic between Carlos and Romika. So and then what she's saying is being corroborated. These things cannot be lied about because the police, the call is recorded. The autopsy confirms that she was right about 2 of the shots. Another thing, when she says that Romika said, what? I just dropped my son off at school. What? And now we find out that Romika has scrubs on. So when people are trying to spread a narrative that Romika came there deliberately to fight her, it's seeming like that's not true.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think Do you think the blood got on the car from him touching it? Because he had a lot of blood on his hands. She had blood on her hands because they said that they had blood on the car, on the vehicle.
Yeah, I believe that.
On Holly's vehicle or on Romika's vehicle? On Holly's vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
It says, I think it was Holly's. Let me see.
I just feel like all this shit was a setup, man. That's my opinion.
It didn't say, it just said noted on the car. And it said noted on the car parked at the residence. I'm still stuck there. How are they getting the car?
Because they lie. They lie. And I don't, you know what? I don't even understand why the police would make a police report like that. And y'all was right there on the scene and y'all seen that it was no houses around that area.
Wow. So wonder we were getting conflicting stories in the beginning because I already put out there because they were like, it was happening at his house. Now it was happening over here by the school. And people were saying his house. So I'm like, well, where does he live? So he probably was putting that info out there as well already.
So that's why it was being said. Now we know why.
Uh-huh. Wow.
I'm trying to read something that somebody just sent
and
me.
y'all remember when Carlos first got on the phone? You remember that open book when he first got on the phone and gave the wrong address to the police? You remember when that? Yes.
It all comes together because he was
saying it all is making sense now.
And now we see the report. See, he was trying to line this up.
I'm gonna pull something up that somebody just sent me that could possibly give some answers to what car that the blood was on. Okay, let's see.
It's starting to make a lot of sense now, even though some shit still left out.
Let's see.
Right now, y'all, quick question: do y'all think they'll ever release that video? The police?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Okay.
Just like well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say I don't know. I was gonna say because I've seen like the situation with Carlisha Hood, the young lady that whose son unalived that man that was beating on his mom at the backyard. Now that footage came from a person. So that was leaked from a person.
Yeah, that was
this footage right
here. They was recording it.
Right. This is a little different because this is a city POD camera. Now, so I don't know. I'm not gonna thank you for sending that to me, but I already made the decision. I don't want to play any that video on my channel, not because of the monetization thing, but more so because just out of respect for the family. I think we've seen it enough. I don't want it on my channel. Let's read this. So, Chinatown school drop-off homicide. Romika Meeks ambushed and killed. Now, this is on Substance News, okay? Substance News. Romika Meeks ambushed and killed. Chicago unaliving scene. Okay, the school day had just started in Chinatown when a domestic feud turned into a street execution. 31-year-old Romika Meeks dropped her son off near Cermak Estate and never made it home. By the time CFD medics worked on her body, she had already been pew-pewed in the face and thigh, bled out against a black Chevy sedan, and was pronounced unalived as Stroger by it don't say it, it says AM. So
now when was
it
that
says she
published?
bled? Huh?
When was that published?
The day after September 9th.
Wait a second. Where did it say she was shot?
In the thigh and in the face and in the thigh.
Okay, wait. So how did they get that information?
Not to mention, you guys, when somebody posts something, they can go back and edit it. So, but also, if you edit something on Facebook, it will tell you if it's edited. So let me go down to see if they. Yeah, I don't know if it was edited or not. But that I just read that because it said now Romika had the black sedan, right? But it was two black sedans. Wasn't Romika's car black and Carlos' car was black?
No, hers
No,
was
Romika car was white.
Okay, Romika car was white. Oh, Holly's car is black. I'm
Black.
sorry. So
Yeah.
Holly car is black and Carlos' car is black. I gotta scroll too far for all of that. So I just wanted to read that one part.
Hey everybody.
Hey everyone.
Let's see. Does anybody else want to come up? Everybody's invited.
Well, we gonna see
To
what
give your
they put out, you know. He
I
said he got
personally,
money.
yeah, and see, I personally feel like from what we heard tonight, I mean, I don't even understand how people are still arguing that it was self-defense. It don't sound like self-defense at all. And not only does it not sound like self-defense due to what we heard from the coroner report, but if you watch the initial viral video, how is it that everybody that's on scene is singing a different tune than self-defense? Literally nobody on scene is screaming, she tried to attack her, she had to shoot her, she tried to attack her. Nobody's saying that. Everybody's saying, girl, is you crazy? What's wrong with you? Why you shot? Everybody has a different type of energy. It's not the energy like, oh, you know, she had to do what she had to do type situation. It was more of the energy where, you know, people are saying, why would you do that? Like, so I'm also taking into consideration the emotion and the feeling of the people that were actually there the moments after it happened. If you see somebody being attacked, viciously attacked, or being beat, or you know, their life is in danger, and you're witnessing this and you see them pull the trigger, you're going to understand that. You're going to say, okay, well, you know, I get it. But the way they were sounding on scene, it did not sound like they even believed it was self-defense, and they were there. Hi AB Cade, how are you?
Good. I just wanted to make one comment on something that you all said. You hit dead on and made me want to come up. Chicago PD, they make plenty of mistakes. Make a long story short, my niece was killed in 2019 by a Chicago police officer. It was so many inconsistencies in the story from the Chicago Police Department, the EMs, the investigators. I mean, everybody made a mistake. And when we started going back through the paperwork, it was just a bunch of lies to take up for the police officer. So Chicago is the police officers are so lazy. It's incompetent. Yes.
Not only are the officers lazy in it, you can tell how the incompetency when you actually look at the viral video. None of them even looked. They knew it. I was laughing at Open Book the other day because she was like, "Did you see how clueless the woman officer?" She came on scene looking like she didn't know what to do. And
yeah, she under me. Carlos should have been the fucking police. Give him the gun, the badge, the outfit, because he was doing every damn thing.
He lives down there.
All that shit.
He lives down there and he knows them. He lives down there and he knows them.
You know what? Yeah, because I was watching Trina. I don't know if you guys watch Trina, but I was watching her podcast, and she did a little bit of digging, and she said that the detective that is on the case, that area is the area that he's in. That's his beat. Not only that, but he works out a lot, just like Carlos. Now we ain't trying to make it's some stuff, something going on here now. But you're absolutely right, ma'am, that just came up. They are very lazy, very incompetent. A lot of times, because I know people who have had investigations open personally. You literally have to call them. They don't do their job. What they do a lot of times is sit around and wait for it to close. So the fact that Romika's family is protesting, they're doing what it is they need to do. You have people that are online advocating and reaching out to the state's attorney, all of these things can really help with her investigation because they are lazy.
Mm-hmm. I've been writing letters too. I've been writing letters to the FBI, state's attorney, emailing. I've been doing everything. Justice for Romika. I've been writing every day. I send out a letter to somebody.
Good, good. Because it, you know, and a lot of times in order to get justice, unfortunately, especially with our people, we don't just get justice. We have to, even in 2025, we have to fight for justice. We have to advocate for ourselves. And that's one thing as a Black person that you just have to learn as a Black person in America, even if it has nothing to do with a homicide. You have to advocate for it. That's a skill that Black people have to learn growing up. Unfortunately, in America, as a Black person, you must advocate for yourself. It doesn't matter if it's a homicide. It don't matter if you in the emergency room. You have to advocate for yourself because nobody else is going to do it. So I'm just so I'm so happy that Romika has a team, whether that be her family, friends, content creators, online presence, and just so many people that see that what happened to her was wrong, and they're advocating for her. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, it disgusts me so bad that anybody would get on this internet and drag this young lady the way that they're doing, and in any way, shape, or form try to make it seem like she deserved what she got, because they may not say it in those words, but you may as well. To me, that is, what type of human being are you? When did it become okay to solve disputes and de-escalate situations with a weapon, with taking somebody's life? What are we saying here?
It just comes to me, in my opinion, it's like for my man. It just screams for my man. It screams set up. It's more to it than what we know and what they're sharing with us. I think it's a classic case of for my man, because he lives right down the street at 555. If she lived with him, allegedly, she could have filed the restraining order at 555 Harrison. Why does she have to go to Raggedy? What was that place? Where was it? Was it Naperville? Where was it?
It's
Skokie. Why does she have to go to Skokie? That small place.
As a matter of fact, 555 West Harrison ain't but 8 minutes, 10 minutes away from her.
Correct. Right. Because that's what, and I live in Oak Park, but I filed my restraining order 555 because that's where everybody goes.
Everybody goes to 555 West Harrison in the city of Chicago if you want a restraining order or TPO. You go to 555 Harrison, you go in there, fill out your paperwork. These days, they put you behind a screen and you talk to
You're absolutely correct.
And talk to a judge. That's how it goes. Now, the reason I've never even heard of somebody that lives in the city of Chicago traveling to Skokie to get hell, if you got to get a restraining order in Skokie against somebody, you may as well not even need one if you get a restraining order against somebody in Chicago.
Exactly.
And this is just, all of it just don't sound right to me, y'all.
I live in Oak Park. The guy that I was filing a restraining order lived in South Holland, and I still went to 555. I would have never thought to go to another place. That's a small courthouse. Why? It just seems set up. But thanks, ladies, for letting me come up. I'm going down in the chat. Thank you. No
problem. Thank you for coming up. I see Ebony in the chat. I think, Ebony, you want to come up? I dropped the link. A lot of times, y'all, I'm not trying to be rude. I have to do better with reading my comments because I be so passionate and into what I'm saying. I don't even pay attention to my comments. So if I missed anything, it's not intentional. I think that tonight, I just want to say, like I said before, Keys does get a lot of bad feedback from people sometimes. Well, we got to give credit where credit is due. Keys has really provided a lot of information to us in this case. He's really You know what I mean? He's really presented a lot of things that gives us content creators things to kind of go over and
Because me
look
and
over.
Open Book, we found out about him through someone else. That's how we started following him, and we've been following him ever since. And he always came with the receipts.
Yeah.
Always.
Oh, and another thing that was said, and you know, I don't mention other creators on my platform moving forward anyway, unless it's in a positive light, you know. So if I got something negative to say, you know, I'm probably not gonna mention the name, but I will. What I will say is, I heard somebody say that Keys basically lied and said, uh, basically said that thank you ABK for that for that super sticker. I appreciate you. Basically said that Keys said that she got hit with the bullets from the side, and had everybody going crazy about that. I had to actually go back and watch the video that Keys did when he said that he had the coroner report. He didn't say that. What he was saying was if she got hit from the side, if this had, he didn't say definitively. So I just wish people would just stop lying, trying to discredit somebody just because their take on something does not align with yours. Like, come on, look, we got to be fair here. The man is putting in actual footwork, so we got to stop it. Hey, justice for Romika, is that you, Ebony?
Yeah.
Hey, Ebony,
Hey y'all. How you guys
what you
doing?
think? What's on your mind? What you think?
I just think that if anybody is still saying self defense, I don't understand them if they're still saying that because it's clearly that she was, I'ma say, can I say murdered?
Girl, we done said that. I done said it 50 times. May as well say it again.
Yeah,
Go
she was
ahead.
murdered. And from what I gathered, the first shot had to come from when she first went into the car door on the passenger side. As soon as she got that GUN out, she pew pewed her. And at that time, Romika was on the driver's side. I had been saying that for a while, ever since when I found out that the one of the shell cases was found on the windshield. And I just said, how could it be on the windshield? And then that's how I knew where she had to be standing at.
You sure did. You've been saying that too.
I
You've
just knew
been,
that's where she had to be standing at.
but y'all look. So okay, so some people are well, and me too. Some people are speculating along with myself that maybe that body was possibly moved because remember they're the Holly supporters are running with a narrative that she was going at first. They said she was going. Romika was going after Holly. Then they said Romika was going after the baby. But the body was from the pictures that we saw is right next to Holly's vehicle. So that must mean that Holly was nowhere near her vehicle. So how are you protecting your child who's placed in the vehicle and you're nowhere near the vehicle? And we know that you were nowhere near Romika based off of the coroner report. So
Yeah,
either
because
the body was,
remember,
uh-huh,
remember the witness was saying like she was standing. At first, she was standing like by the trunk of her car. Remember, the witness was saying something about that,
yep.
and then she was talking her crap. And so the thing is, I don't know for sure, but this is what I was told. Carlos was trying to put Romika into the when he was slamming the door on her, everything. He was doing that from her passenger side. And I had asked, I said, what is he putting her in the passenger side of her car for? How's she supposed to drive? And then they was like, well, she could have just scooted on over.
But I think
Right.
they were trying to move her When see people were taking my words and mixing it up like with kidnapping for ransom. No, I'm saying
Oh,
taking
man.
her off to somewhere else, okay, to make her look like she was at his place. But
Yeah, they're probably trying to pick her up and take her to his house.
exactly, so to make it look like she was over there by his house, closer to where he stayed. Because if you notice, all of this points to over there. But
Are y'all
this
saying carry her from
no, put her in the car and
Put
take
her,
her
put her in the car, shit.
either
Do
or.
something
that?
to do in the
Get
car.
her
Y'all,
closer.
I would only say that couldn't have been the case, or something like that,
Well, we
because
not
we would have
saying
saw
they
like
did
Not
it.
after
blood
she was shot.
marks or
Not
more
after.
blood.
No, not after she was shot.
Yeah. Are you saying before she was shot?
Yes, to get her closer over there for all of this to take place. Before that, because why
Right.
else is he trying to get her into the cars
They were trying to get her into her own car.
on the passenger side? Yes, because
Yeah.
okay, I don't know if you were up because you said you took a nap.
Yeah.
The witness report on that Keys read said that there were neighbors. Everything centers over by Carlos's house.
House, yes.
Yes. Okay. So
They're trying to make it seem like what she's saying, Evanesh. They're trying to make it seem like they gave out Carlos' address for one, right? And trying to make it seem like Ramika came there, knocked on Carlos' door or rung Carlos' bell, got in an argument with Holly, and Holly shot her, and she had a restraining order on her, and she ain't supposed to have been there. That's what Open Book trying to say.
yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm
I had
Because
seen that, but I really, to be honest, y'all, I think that was a made up witness, a witness that basically was lying, that came from somewhere and just did that statement.
But I think that witness know Holly or either Carlos.
I think
Yeah,
it was
because
Carlos.
because
In
let
my
me tell y'all why I say that. If they Because the witness has said that she came to the residence and was battering what's that girl named Holly. We know that's not true, because if that was true, she would have that's where she would have been unalived at.
Yeah, we know it ain't true, but we were just saying what the report said. But we think, well, me and Open Book, we think that the person knew Carlos. Because how a random person from on the street gonna know Carlos' address and all of that? They're not gonna know that.
Not
Yeah,
only
I
that,
think
but
that was a
yeah,
random person, because it would be easy to
No, I
very
don't think it
easy.
was. I think it was somebody that knew Carlos.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, random
not
meaning
not
they
only that,
wasn't
not
there.
only that, y'all, but think about this. The not only is the statement weird because how the hell would the witness know the relationship between Carlos and Holly, but how would they know her Carlos' address? What and then also they put emphasis on it was Holly and Carlos' residence. Now Holly's
How exactly? How
hold on,
would a
hold on,
witness know that?
hold on 1 second. Holly's order of protection has the box check residence. So it sounds to me like because the first thing she said was, I have an order of protection and I have a CCL upon the police arrival. It sounds to me like whoever gave that statement is trying to make it clear that Romika violated an order of protection, which could possibly protect Holly against going to jail. That's the reason why it was alive on a police report that this all happened at their residence, because that's what the order of protection, that she's not to go to the residence. So
And do
I
you think too, Uncle, she trying to say she lived there? And that's why they try to get over that. She probably was going to say that she lived it in Carlos' house.
Right.
Somebody,
Because I was thinking that too.
Right. I believe I believe, first of all, that whoever made the report is either Carlos or somebody that they know, and they made the report to try to match the restraining order.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But it would be so easy and the police probably shut that down because if she had went over there, Momentum would have caught her on footage because the Momentum Coffee is what he lives over, and Momentum Coffee does have cameras. Cause I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, I called and they told me. But
Yeah,
I said
and
I
then
was
not
gonna
only that,
call.
but a lot of those restaurants over there got cameras. Sharks got cameras. But at the end of the day, that POD camera is what matters. They probably gonna be pulling over camera because they're gonna want to see it from different angles.
Yeah, and so there's no way that she would be able to go to his apartment without Momentum catching her on footage because they have cameras. So I
We
just
know that, but we
I
just trying to
believe
say
that
what they were trying to pick up.
they was just
Yeah, I was just thinking through it.
they was just saying they so, to me I think they were just trying to throw in other statements so it can make it seem like all the witnesses are telling different stories and we don't know who's credible and who's not credible and that everybody's story is different. But that I'm throwing that witness out too. But what we do know is that all the witnesses do say basically the same thing, that Carlos and Romika was the one that was in the interaction of the fighting. And then we find out that all three of them was out of the car at first, talking, and then it turned into an argument.
Right.
So she
Well, my
violated
thing
her
is,
own restraining order because she has a duty to not engage too. That means talk or
right.
anything. You can't be up there talking to the person that you so in fear of, and then boom, because the conversation ain't going your way, or whatever the case may be, a light come on and say, "Well, now I want to use it." No, you violated it when you start talking to her.
Let me answer this question. So Kate Tails and Convo said, doesn't a restraining order say within a certain number of feet, not specifically a location? So that is true. So what the restraining order is going to say is, I hear an echo. Can y'all mute? Because I want to see if it stops if y'all hit mute. Let me see.
Oh,
Am
this
I
looks
saying
different. How do we hit mute on here?
Let me see if I could.
Mm.
I don't know because I can't mute it. I don't know. Oh wait, let me
And the
see.
restraining order said her.
Okay, all right, I'm done. I'm not. I muted you real quick, Ebony, because I wanted to get rid of that echo. But what I was gonna say is, he normally will say within 1,000 feet in a public place, but then you can also select specific places that you would want that person to stay away from. So one of the places that's checked on the documentation that I saw is residence. Now it is true that they are supposed to stay away from you within 1,000 feet, but it could be possible that whoever made that report, if that report was made by Carlos, that they may not have known that, or that because residence is checked, they just wanted to use that for extra coverage. Now that's not a
Right.
fact. That's just what I think could have happened. Because still at this moment we still don't know who made the report, guys, on that particular statement. But what we do know is that it's a bit odd that whoever made the statement just conveniently happened to know that Holly and Carlos were in a relationship, and also happened to know where, or think they knew where Carlos and Holly lived. Because see, if I'm a witness and I don't know the people that are out there, and I pull up on somebody, I'm not gonna know. I'm not gonna say they're in front of their residence. How would I know that? I'm just gonna say they're on the street on the intersection of Cermak and State.
That's why I said, Alpha, it's somebody to know. It's somebody to know them.
Right, gotta be. LaShawn, I have somebody in the back. LaShonda, do you mind just clicking your camera on real quick? Just because I don't know who you are, and I don't want somebody coming up here and doing nothing weird and getting my page struck or whatever. Because people come up here and do weird stuff. If you don't mind, I'm gonna make sure it's off before you get up here. Can't nobody see you right now. So if you turn it on right now, nobody can see you or anything except for me.
Yeah, I definitely believe it was somebody who Carlos and them that made that statement. I definitely do believe that.
And you know what? This discredits a lot of stuff that's been put out here. If you think about it, certain things that Ladre was saying, oh, she was putting her baby in the car when Ramika pulled up, and they were she was chasing her, and they thought she was gonna get into her car. Baby, all of that
and
is
then not
not
only that, remember, Ramika pulled her by her hair and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Now, where was that? Okay, because there's no specifics. Then the Naja witness was saying, oh, I was driving by and I saw them out there. So you were driving by on the other street? Because according to this witness, they were at the house. This witness, we already know where this is coming from. Okay, it was on that police report. But what I can say is the first witnesses, we have proof of them out there on the scene.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, these other witnesses, we don't have proof. Like, we don't know. It's very general. Neighbors. Okay, which neighbors? You don't have either neighbor 1, neighbor 2 on here or anything. Okay, so you just having a blanket statement and then want people to believe that it was over at the house when it wasn't. Now that they should have just crossed all of that out and started over at that point, because they were all there to see it was not in front of a residence. This is just something that was told beforehand, before everyone could see what really happened, basically. It doesn't make sense. So some of that we can knock out, because now if we want to think about this witness, then it knocks all the other stuff out. Some of it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. All of this is see, but do you see how we're sitting here going over all of this stuff, and as we're talking, the more that we talk, the more questions come up that need answers.
Right.
I could just imagine what investigators are going through. So when you guys are hearing people say, well, what's taking so long? If she was guilty, they would arrest her. No. There's cases unalive people in self-defense. I've looked up several cases. Some people don't go get arrested or get charged for years, sometimes years before they feel like before the police feel that they have gathered enough not just enough information, but enough accurate information to present to the district or the state's attorney to be able to bring charges against a person. It takes a while sometimes. And the more that we talk about this, I'm starting to understand why it's taking so long. All of the conflicting witness statements, the police screwed up, the body may have been moved, blood on the girl's shoes, the police didn't know what the hell they was doing. It's just all over the place, right? So, I mean, I get it. It's not an open and shut black and white situation. So I get it, but
we still need to know, where did they get all of that blood from? And especially if he wasn't holding her. Like, how did he get it on his hands like that, on his shoes? Now, like I said,
close contact there. He must have. The only reason he can get blood on him like that he had close contact with her.
Right. But that's not in the statement. How about he didn't put, or this person didn't put anything about, oh, the boyfriend was holding her. Like, we don't see any of that.
Yeah.
We don't see any of that.
Because he ain't going to tell that.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
And then I don't think it's fair that they took out the other witnesses' statements and just put witness number 3 statement pretty much to match it up. But they didn't even put any of the other witness statements on this document.
Right.
Unless there's a whole other document, because like I said, that witness has a lot to say. She saw a lot. So unless there's another document, I don't know.
That's what I was just about to say. Open book. It may be another document, but not only that, the witness already has given a statement. The one that you talking, the one that's on Messy Sweet Spot, she gave her statement to the police. I don't know where people are getting this rumor from that she's no longer cooperating. Because number one, she already gave her statement. She never really said she wasn't cooperating with the police. And so her statement will be used as well. So I believe. So I don't know what, but let me ask y'all something. Why do you now? This part right here. This is opinion based. I want y'all to be honest. Why do you guys think that so much deflection is going on within this case? Like as far as the different people covering it, the coverage that's going on. The only people I'm gonna say honestly, I'm not gonna name no names, but there's just a few people, including you, Miss D, and you, Open Book, that I've seen that literally just stick to that day. But it's like people are working overtime to try to dig into this young lady's past, to demonize her as if that makes a difference regarding what happened on the day that she lost her life. And what do y'all think about that?
Well, one thing is they have to be able to prove that Romeka was the aggressor in the self-defense part, that she was an aggressor. And one way to prove that is by showing videos where it looks like she was the aggressor. This is why Holly was afraid of her, because she is an aggressor. Okay. So they have to prove that. And then the David Brown guy, he was on a panel and he stated that, that's one of the things that's holding it up, is they also have to prove that it was self-defense. And how do you prove that someone was in fear for their life? So they also have to prove, was Holly really in fear for her life? Okay. And then the same day, Ladre, here he comes talking about, well, you don't have to have fear, messing up once again her claim. What you mean don't have to have fear? Yes, you better, but she didn't look fearful. She didn't see, she messed up by forgetting that part of the script. Okay. She said the license to carry part. She said, I have the restraining order, but she forgot the fear. She forgot the distress, I was nervous. She was about to come for me. She didn't say none of that. So she messed that part up. So they're trying to figure out, was it justified? With you, was it justified that you were fearful? Was she an immediate or imminent threat to you in that moment? And also to be able to show that Romeka was an aggressor during that moment. How do we show this? Because she's gone now. Okay. Oh, well, look at some stuff that she's done before. Look at these fights. She loves to fight. She loves to do this. Right. And so it's giving her this image that when she was there, we're arguing, we're fussing. She's trying to come after me. So I feared for my life. So I had to take her out, pretty much, to kind of cover.
Right. I agree with you 100%. It's all being done because they have to show, look, everybody, this is the type of person that Romeka was. But what I'll say is, hold on, Ebony, do you know how to mute and unmute?
No. Am I still echoing?
Well, you not, but I noticed when you came up, I started echoing. It could be me. I don't know. But what I want to say is that they have to try to prove, like Open Book said, that she was this horrible person because they feel like they're helping Holly. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, they gonna look at that in court too. But what I think what people are not understanding is whether or not Romika was a fighter, whether or not you say she was mentally ill, whether or not she was just this person that, just was an all around bad human being, even though I don't believe that for a second, it still is not a death sentence. It still is not a pass to kill. Even if a person is this horrible individual, in the moment that you are having a dispute with that person that you're claiming is so horrible, you still have to do things the legal way. It doesn't matter what they've done in their past. It doesn't matter about any of that stuff. You still have to follow legal protocol as a person that has a license to carry. In the state of Illinois, there's elements to a self-defense claim that you have to consider. It doesn't matter that we can go on Romika's Facebook page and pull up something that she wrote that was mean or bullying or whatever 7 months ago. It doesn't matter. Those types of things don't matter in a case of self-defense. It just doesn't. You still have to prove that in that moment, your life was being threatened. So all of this propaganda that's being spread around the internet about Romika being this violent, treacherous person doesn't matter. What happened in the moment is what matters. And I honestly feel like it's just a distraction to distract away from what Holly did. And I'm so glad that so many content creators have picked this story up that are in support of Romika and focus on the facts. Ms. D, I watch you every time you go live. Open Book, I watch all of your lives, and y'all really focus on the facts. I can't wait till y'all go live and talk about this though.
I appreciate the support. I really do.
Yeah, thank you. Somebody say, who was that? Open Book says she forgot to say the self-defense part. Tasha says she also forgot to call the police. She also forgot to call
that part.
Right, Miss, I'm scared for my life. How are you
right?
How are you so afraid and you never called the police? That's the first thing you do when you're afraid. It's even the young lady. I think Miss D covered this story on her platform. Even Miss D, I think the name of the lady was Quanisha. She called the police and told the police, I'm gonna shoot this guy, her baby daddy. And she did. And she actually ended up getting, I think, 25 to life recently. She called the police and said, I am going to shoot him. The police said, well, make sure that you follow protocol. Make sure you know what you're doing. Miss, do you know who I'm talking about? Do anybody know who I'm talking about? I forget the girl's name. Her name, I think you may have covered it. I don't know, but her name was Quanisha. Her story went viral. Her baby daddy came to her house. The police were called over for the domestic dispute. The police ended up leaving. And once the police left, Quanisha called the police again and said, hey, I'm going to shoot him because he's doing such and such, whatever. And so, no, I can't hear you. Ebony, you're not on mute, Ebony. I didn't mute you. I don't know. Let me type that. So anyway, so she called the police and told them what she was going to do. And they told her, well, make sure that you follow protocol. We're just letting you know, make sure you know what you're doing. And she ended up shooting them and she went to prison behind it. So Ebony, you said you can hear us. We can't hear you, Ebony. I'm looking at your thing here. You're not muted. Cece said, I remember that. Maybe if you drop down and come back, Ebony, maybe that'll work. Maybe drop down and try to come back. Yeah, that's the young girl that unalived her baby dad. But you guys, you know what? I'm about to go ahead and get off anyway, y'all, because I got to get up in the morning. I got to take my son. He got a little group Six Flags trip he doing tomorrow. So I'm gonna try to give me some rest. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's commentary, whether it's in alignment with mine or not, about this situation, because I just want to know what people think regarding the paperwork. So I'll be looking forward to seeing Open Book and Miss D go live about the situation. Thank y'all for coming up and joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me up, Upper. I appreciate it. And shout out to all of the chat. And I hope you have a great evening.
Thank you too. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss D. Thank you as well. And thank you, Ebony and Krisha. Oh, and also AB. Thank you for coming up and joining the live and giving your commentary on what you guys think about this situation. I'm gonna go ahead and end it because I'm tired and I got a long day tomorrow. But what I want to say is what we know definitively is that regardless of what any of the content creators that are in support of Holly pull up in the near future, I don't care if y'all post her My Chart records on this bitch. It doesn't matter what you pull up. It doesn't matter what you pull up. What matters is what happened on that day. And what we know from that coroner report is that during that shooting, there was no physical altercation at that time. And according to the coroner report, the shooting must have happened from a distance. Meaning that in that moment, her life was not in danger, nor was it being threatened. No more to say, case closed. Period, point blank. Also, what I want to say, for the people that are pulling up all of these Facebook posts and pulling up all of these people from the past and pulling up all this other shit, let me show y'all something that trumps all of that. Okay, since we pulling stuff up, let me just, before I end this live, I want to pull something up that was posted on Facebook that trumps all of that. Hold on, let me find it. I know I got it here somewhere. Oh, you know what? I want to pull. Hold on. Let me get this first. Let me get this. One of the things that trumps everything, because I can't see it. If anybody in the back, I'm actually getting ready to get off in a second, y'all. I gotta get off, so I don't want to let. Well, I'm gonna let you up. One thing that trumps all of that is Miss Holly Johnson posted on her Facebook, sometimes you just gotta start killing people. So when you're pulling up what Romika posted in the past, make sure that you post that as well. Also, make sure that Miss I'm being bullied and I'm the victim, make sure that you also post this. Make sure you never forget about this video where Miss I'm the victim was showing antagonistic behaviors, where she was antagonizing somebody that she claims that she's afraid of. This is not a situation of someone that was being bullied. This is not a situation of a woe is me. This is a situation of a young lady that sat online, participated in antagonistic behavior, participated in the foolery, and was playing big and bad. And then, as I said before, once the day of reckoning came, she wanted to unalive her, because this has been a beef that has been going on for a while. This has been going on for a while. So it is not crazy to believe that she was so angry and had so much built up hatred in her for this person who she shares a baby daddy with, that she could have possibly just been angry and shot that girl. So when people try to paint, I'm gonna go ahead and drop, because I'm finna coming up, because I'm finna get off in a minute. When people try to paint Holly as the victim, a victim does not participate back and forth in antagonistic behavior. She was an equal party. She participated in it. Regardless of what anybody says, if you can pull up stuff on Romika, then pull up stuff on Holly, because it definitely exists. A bully is somebody that sits back, says nothing, is being picked on. This is a young lady that got a order of protection against somebody. And let's not forget, people get false orders of protections all the time as a tactic of antagonistic behavior. Wasn't scared of the girl, sat online making video after video after video, posting shots, posting subliminal messages. Sometimes you just got to start killing people. This is not an angel. She is not innocent. She is not a victim. And the audacity of people to be painting this girl as a victim when there's several things that can be found online of her going back and forth, not being bullied, but going back and forth. There is another young lady who is dead. But instead of saying she's possibly the victim, because we don't have all the details yet as far as this self-defense claim, you'd rather say that she was the one that was the bully, the one that's dead. But the one that's alive is not the bully. Let's make this make sense, you guys. If you can pull things up on Romika about what she said and did online in the past, don't forget to pull the same shit up on Holly, because she has shit on the internet too. If you got two baby mamas going back and forth, there is no victims here. Shout out to Big Keys Against the World type shit, for giving us this information to cover and incorporate in our commentary, always coming with the receipts and the facts. Shout out to him. I'm gonna end this live. Hopefully this live gave everybody something to think about. We got a few things that we have here. We know that Holly was not in the act of being attacked when she shot Romika. We know that she was not being physically harmed at that time. We know that she fired that weapon more than 2 times. She fired it 3 times, hit Romika twice, and we know that she tried to shoot her again, but the gun jammed. We also know that both, I'm just ending this on what we know. We also know, according to the coroner, that both shots were fatal. One shot was all it took. One shot took her down. One shot neutralized the threat. So when people say, oh, 2 bullets ain't overkill, let somebody put 2 bullets in your ass. And let's see if you feel like it's overkill then. It's easy to say 2 bullets ain't overkill when your ass ain't never been shot before. It's easy to say 2 bullets ain't no big deal when it wasn't you. According to the coroner could not even determine which wound killed Romika because they were both fatal. Let that sink in for the people in the back that still screaming self-defense. Another bullet was not needed. And even after both of those fatal shots, she tried to shoot her again. Keep that in mind, okay? Stop listening to the propaganda. Stop listening to all of the foolishness and all the shit that's being put out there to get you all to lose focus on what really we're talking about here. Nobody cares about none of Romika's ex-boyfriends, ex-friends, people that might have knew her, ex-schoolmates, old Facebook posts from months and years ago. Nobody cares about none of that shit. We talking about what happened that day. And thanks to Big Keys, we have a little bit more of a clearer picture of what may have happened on that day. It was unnecessary for what she did. When you draw a weapon in Illinois to shoot someone, you do it because you have to and you have no other options. The fact that you shot her from a distance showed that you had another option. And I'm gone. Thank you for joining me tonight, y'all. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure that you hit the notification bell. Hype me up. And if you're in the chat and you new, you haven't subscribed, make sure that you hit that subscription, okay? And so that you can follow me as I cover this case and others. All right, y'all. Peace.
I got a lady. Name is the upper echelon, she a debater, baby. She can give it to you straight, no chaser. She got the smarts, she got the heart, she got the confidence, baby. She the upper echelon. You know you intimidated. Stupid can't play with smart. She got the smart, she got the heart, she got the confidence. with smart. Stupid can't play with smart.